Hello, biology students. Welcome to today's video. This is the video for April 13th, 2020, or day 11. Today, I want to talk about the interactions that occur in an ecosystem. You have all of these different organisms existing in the same area, and they may or may not compete for the same resources. So, if you look at, for example, a tree can be used by a number of different organisms, but not every organism is going to use the tree the same way. Birds, for example, can use a tree to nest in, but they can also use the tree for food. But then you might have another organism like a squirrel that doesn't maybe care what the bird is doing. It's going to use that tree for something different. Or the worms, the grubs that you might find in a tree sometimes, they're using that tree for one purpose, but other insects may be using it for a different purpose. So just because you live in the same area doesn't mean that you're going to use the same resources in the same way. But if you are organisms that are using that tree, that resource in a different way, that increases your chance of survival. If everyone is using that tree for the same reason, then competition becomes really fierce and your population may or may not survive. So chances are your population, your species even, has evolved strategies to utilize that resource in one way, whereas some other type of organism is not using that resource that way. Where an organism lives is what we call its habitat. So a squirrel, for example, may live in the tree. That's where it sleeps the majority of the time. That's where it stores its food. If that tree is where the organism lives, we call that the habitat of the organism. Soil can be a habitat. Underneath a rock can be a habitat. There's all of these different things out there where organisms can live in it. It spends the majority of its time there, or that's where it sleeps, or that's where it raises its brood, or children. That would be considered the habitat. So that is it for today's video. You'll have an assignment at the end. It'll be on one Google Doc. Make sure you turn that Google Doc in at the end of the week when you have completed all assignments. See you later.